Filed and served October 29, 2024. And the Supreme Court of Missouri. State of Missouri. Darrell McClanahan. Petitioner. Versus Judge R. Craig Carter. Respondent. Extraordinary Writ of Prohibition. Comes now, pro se petitioner, Darrell McClanahan requesting Honorable Missouri Supreme Court to grant an extraordinary writ of prohibition against Judge R. Craig Carter, Missouri's 44th Judicial, to prevent him from presiding over any further cases involving Darrell McClanahan due to demonstrated judicial misconduct, failure to enforce witness subpoenas, and bias, which compromise the fairness of the trial. Such a writ is appropriate when there is a clear abuse of discretion or judicial misconduct that cannot be remedied on appeal, particularly when it affects the administration of justice and public interest. Nature of underlining action, timeline including actions of the respondent. The trial in question occurred on April 18, 2024, in Wright County, Missouri, under the 44th Judicial Circuit, case number 22 WRCR 00553. While subpoenas for Joshua Johns and Ozark County Sheriff's Deputy Curtis Dobbs were signed by the clerk under Judge Carter's supervision, Joshua Johns, married to one of the victims and having personal relationships with all endorsed witnesses, was subpoenaed but failed to appear. Johns, in the past, was charged criminally for crimes against the petitioner and his family. Curtis Dobbs contacted the court and asked for special treatment, claiming he had training that day. Dobbs was recorded telling petitioner to throw away possible evidence of criminal activity. Dobbs was allowed not to respond to his subpoena. His request was granted by Judge Carter. Judge Carter's failure to compel these witnesses to testify represents a lapse in ensuring a fair trial that may have led to the petitioner's conviction. Although subpoenas were issued under his supervision, Judge Carter did not ensure compliance, which is critical to the defendant's fair trial rights. State vs. Faulkner 355 SW 3D 106 emphasizes the necessity of judicial action to secure witness testimony for due process. Allowing Dobbs to ignore his subpoena while not addressing Johns' absence suggests preferential treatment. State ex rel. Williams vs. Maurer 499 SW 3D 304 supports the argument for procedural fairness in witness handling. The public interest in ensuring that judicial proceedings are unbiased and fair is paramount, particularly for pro se litigants who rely heavily on the court's impartiality. To safeguard the integrity of judicial proceedings and the public's confidence in the legal system, Judge Carter must be prohibited from further involvement in cases concerning the petitioner. The court's precedents clearly delineate the threshold for issuing a writ of prohibition in cases of judicial misconduct. Request for oral arguments. Due to the significant public interest in judicial impartiality and the rights of pro se litigants, petitioner respectfully requests oral arguments to further elucidate these issues. The case involves nuanced questions of judicial conduct, procedural fairness, and the rights of defendants, warranting a full oral presentation. Relief sought by petitioner. An extraordinary writ of prohibition should be issued to prevent Judge Carter from presiding over any cases or trials involving petitioner Darrell McClanahan. Petitioner has also sought redress through a complaint with the Commission of Retirement, Removal and Discipline of Judges concerning Judge R. Craig Carter's misconduct. The petitioner prays this court to issue a writ of prohibition against Judge R. Craig Carter and to schedule oral arguments in the interest of justice and public concern. Petitioner Darrell McClanahan does pray the Honorable Missouri Supreme Court would grant this extraordinary writ of prohibition. Respectfully submitted. Blank, _ blank. Darrell McClanahan. 24346 S 2425 Road. Milo, Missouri, 64767. 417.388.9595. Darrell4Magav@gmail.com. Exhibits. 1 State's motion to endorse witnesses by Matthew Weatherman. 2 Copy of Joshua Johns' subpoena served by the Sheriff's Office. 3 Copy of Curtis Dobbs' subpoena served personally. Petitioner has redacted victims' names and addresses. These documents are available at Missouri CaseNet case number 22 WRCR 00553. In the Supreme Court of Missouri. State of Missouri. Darrell McClanahan. Petitioner. Versus. Judge R. Craig Carter. Respondent. Certificate of Service. I hereby certify that on this 29th day of October 2024 that a copy of this extraordinary writ of prohibition was hand-delivered to Judge R. Craig Carter's clerk and mailed to 44th Judicial Court P.O. Box 489 Ava, Mo 65608. Respectfully. Blank, blank. Darrell McClanahan. 24346 S 2425 Road. Milo, Missouri, 64767. 417.388.9595. Darrell4Magav@gmail.com.